Hey everyone, this is Brett Favre, Green Bay Packers Super Bowl champion, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packers content. Go Packers.
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Flying solo as of the moment. I think we got Tim falling in here in a second. I know Jacob is taking care of some puppy problems. As thoughts and prayers out to his little pooch up there. Make sure that little guy's doing good. He'll possibly hop in here a little later in the stream. We'll see if he makes it in. But hopefully everybody's having a great evening. I see everybody following in the chat, man. We got a herd in here. We got Jarrell Lee, too old for this. Chris N, AFAM in the house. We got, let's see, Blake B, United Bates. Everybody following in. Holmes MD1, good to see you, pal. Appreciate you making this part of your evening. All right, let's just jump into it, man. We got a couple different things to hit on tonight. We were kind of walking through social media earlier. We'll give Tim a second to get settled in here in a second, but thought this was cool. ML Football put out a tweet. You guys know they've been kind of running down their top at each position. I thought it was awesome. Zach Tom, obviously, on this list as the top 10 offensive tackles in 2024. Zach Tom makes the list at number 6. The fact that he was a 4th-round pick and making, pennies on the dollar compared to how he's performed on the field, absolutely awesome. Obviously, he's going to be a Green Bay Packer for a very, very long time. Hopefully, they can work out that contract sooner than later. And the sooner you do get it in, and hopefully it's team-friendly as much as it can be. The reality is Zach Tom deserves to be paid, honestly, the highest-paid tackle in the league. He's up next, and I'm not sure exactly who will be up this year as well. But that's just the way that works. The bar gets raised higher and higher each time, and whoever's turn it is. Now, he may end up being the highest paid tackle in the league, and then a month or two later, maybe a week or two later, obviously somebody could leapfrog him as well. But definitely worth every penny that the Packers are going to be giving him there at right tackle. And we've talked about a little bit this offseason. He could potentially play center as well. So we'll see what they end up doing there for sure. We got Tim joining us now. Tim, how you doing, big dog?
Doing great. I heard you talking about Zach Tom and paying him a lot of money, so I had to jump in,
Yeah, say, whoa, let's hold up on giving him the checkbook. I'm hoping that we come away kind of like we did with Elton, where you looked up and go, that's a lot of money, but he's definitely not the highest paid lineman. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The fact that he's coming off of that rookie contract, here's the negotiating point in my opinion. He's got a lot of money that's going to be coming up. There's no doubt about that. But the Packers could franchise tag him, and this is, again, next year, right? We're going into the last year of his contract. But let's say they're trying to reach an agreement and they're too far apart. When you look at it from the player's perspective, you go, no, yeah, I'm going to hold out for more money. Okay, if you do that and they end up franchise tagging you, right? If they franchise tag you, yes, you get a good chunk guaranteed, but also you're missing out on even more guaranteed money that they may offer you where you go, you know what? I think I'll take the $60 million guaranteed, even though it's lower average annual value than I think I'm worth. That's a little more security long-term as opposed to, or I say long-term, more money in the bank right then, as opposed to the salary maybe not working out, because you get hurt or God forbid you have a career-ending injury, that type of thing. But the other aspect too, this year going into camp, they're going to look to get a deal done, right? Most likely they'll try to get that extension done then. If the player, let's say the Packers, I'm just throwing a number out there. Let's say the Packers offer him 4 years, $80 million with $50 million guaranteed, and he thinks he's worth $100 million over 4 years, right? Well, the Packers could go, okay, we'll just wait and franchise tag you next year, and now he's playing the entire year on that rookie contract that we talked about as pennies on the dollar. And then, God forbid, Tim, you have some kind of major injury. Yep. And you never see that bulk of the money that they may have offered. You may not even sniff, the 4 years, $80 million with $50 million. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we're going to be at this summer, and that's definitely one of the storylines we'll be hitting on the training camp for sure.
For sure, and I'm sure that Zach Tom and his representation are, they're probably thinking the same thing, right? And he doesn't strike me as the type of guy that's going to be greedy, or a me first guy. But at the same time, he probably wants to get paid. like all these young players want to get paid. And I think there's truth to what you're saying, like we talked about cash over cap, or we talked about, it's the NFL. Guaranteed money is everything. Contracts aren't guaranteed. These players want guaranteed money. If you can give them more up front and more guaranteed and then spread things out and adjust the cap year to year, that's kind of the formula nowadays, So I don't think Zach Tom's going to be super greedy, but at the same time, I think he wants to get paid for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought you were going to get the Brinks truck on the horn, Tim. I wasn't sure because we've been calling for it all. We've been calling for it all year. So
they're still loading it up. They got those bags of cash,
like that Italian job, where they drop the truck into the tracks and then they're sliding the gold bars down. Yeah, I liked it.
Definitely. What do you think about this, Emilio? I mean, that's going to be coming up this summer, right? That's going to be a big talking point into camp, and hopefully he doesn't hold out of camp looking for that new deal. It's definitely a possibility, though, I think. I mean, and listen, you guys know how I feel. Ben Holden, you're out of control. You guys know how I feel, right? Like, I tend to side with the player when people dog them for holding out a training camp to get a new contract, but man, they got to get theirs, man.
Yep.
If you're willing to dog a player for that, then what you're doing is you're giving other human beings freedom to berate you about the money you're making at your job. And I'm not about that stance.
Who was it this year that got paid and then got hurt? Why can I not think? Got handsomely paid and then got hurt.
There's probably several. You talking about on the Packers roster?
No, I think it was a bigger name, but that's why. I mean, reason is just like that's why. I mean, you've fought your whole life, 22 years. You've given up 10 of them, 15 of them, just training, working hard. You don't get the late night 3 a.m. Xbox sessions, right? Like you're going to bed at 7, getting up at 4 to go to the gym for 2 hours. You know what I mean? So well deserved. Anybody that, there we go. Thank you, Chris.
I'm trying to think of who was it. Was it Debo? Maybe? I think it was
Debo or Brandon Ayuk.
Or Ayuk. One of them.
It was Ayuk. It was Debo the year before, right?
And then, got paid and then got hurt, but held out, right? And they were all upset. Hey, he's holding out. He doesn't want to play, dude. I mean, he's fought his whole life for that. If he didn't get that contract, he would have gotten paid pennies on the dollar, and he got hurt 2 weeks after, basically. So, everyone has to get paid if you're that kind of quality. If you're fighting to get to that level, then you might have to take a risk and put your body on the line to get that money. But if you've proven yourself, I think you're more than welcome to that money you deserve.
Yeah. Yep, agreed. 2-0 for this says AFAN blesses himself before he sneezes. That sounds about right, doesn't it? And he said he blesses himself and then talks to himself in the third person while he blesses himself. Right, Tim?
Yeah, he says Pat Mahomes loves AFAM. That's what he says.
There you go. It's already started.
You got him.
All right, let's see. Let me get back to Twitter before this gets off the rails too bad. Y'all got me cracking up already. I've already lost my place too here. All right, let's see here. I did want to point out 4th round pick 140 for Zach Tom. Goody Cook, no doubt about it. So here was I put a tweet out and somebody tagged me in the tweet. Remember when I broke down the statistics on Tucker Kraft and if he had gotten the same amount of targets as Brock Bowers and all that, right? You guys remember that? Well, someone had tagged me. I want to give a shout out to Cheeseheads Brazil, I think was the account. Okay. And, shout out to them. Go give them a follow. Obviously, it's, let's see, their exact Twitter handle is at CheeseheadsBR. So Cheeseheads BR. Go give them a follow over on X. But they had tagged me and gave me credit for running down those numbers. And then they had shared a video that Eli Berkovitz had shared. I thought, why not take a second here and just enjoy this little highlight reel of Tucker Kraft? And that's what it is. You guys can see that okay, right?
I already this play is burned in my memory. I love this. Let's watch this dart and this great catch one more time. I love it.
Absolutely. So here's obviously the seam shot. Jordan knew they were in cover 2. This safety knew exactly what Jordan wanted to do. I remember us breaking this down on Chalk Talk. So he's eyeing the 3, which is Tucker Kraft there in the tray set. Jordan knows he's eyeing it, and Jordan's like, you know what? If I can hold him just long enough, I'm going to throw a heater in here. 61 miles per hour in the next-gen era. It's the hardest thrown football in an NFL game, and it was by Jordan Love. Let's watch it here. First one right off the bat. Just burn that sucker in there. Bang.
That was on Bullock, right?
I think it was on
that
Caleb.
that USC safety. And he
Caleb.
was talking trash right on X. He was saying that he got burnt. Piss was hot. He got burnt. I don't know what to tell him.
Tell you, man, if you get a chance, just go back and watch Tucker Kraft's highlight reel. It was phenomenal last year. All right, here's
that was
another
an absolute missile from Jordan Love. I mean, 60 plus miles an hour throwing a football. That's like a baseball player, throwing 100 plus on the mound kind of trajectory. That's incredible.
Definitely. All right, next play. I don't even remember what this is. We'll just walk through them. Here's a little play action. Oh, it's just a little RPO is what this is.
RPO
right?
flat. That is bread and butter college football play.
I believe this is Tay Wicks out here too, fellas, if I remember correctly. Let's see. I think it is. Look at that block. And then Tucker said, here, just hold him right there. I'll blast him. All right, here's a little Malik Willis action here. Hey, fam, really going to get it. Ooh.
The only other quarterback that AFAM likes. He likes Pat Mahomes and Malik Willis. That's it.
There you go. Look at that little throw. I mean, it's a good anticipatory throw. Did I say that right, Emilio?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, man, it's a dangerous throw too. The late hands by Tucker there, phenomenal.
That's faith in the player.
Yeah. Bang. Yep. Great throw, great catch there. Here's Malik again, little play action rollout. This is just an easy little dropping underneath. Look at that. Oh, my God. Tucker Kraft. Watch him again. Just shed off this DB. Remember what he said this year, Emilio? The rule is you can't let the first DB tackle you.
Cannot let it happen. If it does, you got to do push-ups or something. I remember that was far side of the field from where we were sitting. We were just getting hyped up, man. It was game time.
At this point, too, I think I was about 3 Captain Morgans deep.
The slushy ones, Jimmy got him, dude. It sucked him right in.
Bro, I'm telling you, I had 3 of those, several bruchachas in 93-degree weather. I did not use the restroom one time. You guys, that's how hot it was. It was bad. So anyway, Tucker Kraft, and that was a fun game to attend. I'm glad we went to that one for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, next play. I'm trying to think of what this is. So get a little bit of that circus music on this one, though. Watch this as we key it up here. Give me just a second. Look at that little zipper orbit play action. Oh, yes.
Another dime piece from Jay Money. I love it.
A little stiff arm. There's Tay Wicks. You see him again?
Mm-hmm.
All year long, boys. I know he didn't have
block, no rock.
But, man, I'm telling you, he did plenty of that this year.
The guy's engaged 60 yards downfield. You got to be happy about that. Out there actively looking for work and actively helping him get downfield. It's just cool looking at it from a different angle. We're used to the sideline cam on all these, just watching it all come together.
Yeah, definitely. All right, here we are in the Rams again. A little cheap motion from Reed. Underneath. Make that first one miss, baby.
Always.
Dang. He's a wrecking ball, dude. I love it. Now we're here at it's the Texans game. Look at this. First DB misses.
Second one takes the knees.
He's so violent, dude. Look, here we go. That's a backer, boys. Run right through his face.
Right through his face. I love it.
Oh, what a throw by Jay Love. Do you see this? Somebody come look at this.
Another dart.
That is seriously.
That was right down the hash. I mean, just boom.
Quick release.
Margin of error 0. Like you're either perfect or you're picked off in that situation.
Definitely. Hey, fam, let us know in the chat what you think about these throws right here, man. Just curious. All right, let's move it along. 3 minutes, man. I'll tell you, just straight.
This receiving it's tough.
Here we go, a little Y screen. Look at this. Underneath. Bang. Cutter. Malik Willis. Hey, fam, we'll talk about this one. Oh, yeah, here's the guy. They outrun the corner right there. Let's go. Here, I remember this. Remember, he kind of sits down in the middle of the field. Whoop! See ya.
Thank you. First one.
And smack another guy for 8 yards.
Off me.
Look at this. Love it, man.
Mac and cheese, baby.
Cannot wait to see him next year. Here we go. A little tray set look like, or maybe that's a fake SIF leak. Tucker going down the field. Look at that, running through another DB.
Taking the knees.
Cool little play action. Reset underneath. Let's go. Inside the 1. Here we go. A little empty set. Nasty split. Oh, my gosh. I didn't realize Jordan threaded the needle on so many throws this year, man. Here we go, Tucker. Some more yak. That's where Kirby Joseph tried to blow that knee out like he does against all tight ends, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yep. Watch Kirby Joseph on this play. He got up ready to talk crap, and watch Tucker. Let's go.
That's a missed tackle there, Kirby. Sorry about that one, bud.
J-Lo right here, boys.
That's me when they bring the double A gap mug, Clay. That's literally all I do. I'm turning and burning. Throw it as fast as you can.
Look at Tucker here, man. Just boxing out, right? You're playing basketball right there. Love to see it. Great grab. Man, what a hell of a highlight reel for Tucker Kraft this year. We go again. Make that first guy miss, baby.
And really, there's only been what? A handful? 3 maybe throws where Jordan Love's really, really under pressure. I mean, the O-line's done well. I'm happy. Besides Sean Ryan right there getting absolutely just walked back into him.
But you notice on these, though, Jordan's being decisive, and he's looking at a read. It's not there, and he dumps it to Tucker, and it's yards after the catch like we always see. Look at this. No hesitation. Get it out. Get it quick.
Right.
When you see him patting the ball and hesitating to throw that check or that second or third read, it's when we have problems.
This is what I love about this play. Watch Sean Ryan gets blasted back into Jordan. He's just going to throw a sidearm around him.
Yep. No problem.
I mean, this is my favorite part right here. Look at Devondre Campbell. Like, I ain't want none of that smoke.
Oh, he still had his jersey on then? That's crazy.
Look at all his buddies laying around on the ground, too. You got to love it, right? There's literally 4 Niners end up on the ground. Can't get it back to the right frame there. This guy ends up on the ground, too. And just look at Devondre's like, yeah, I ain't going over and tackling him. All right, just a couple more here. Play action. Little dump, another Y screen underneath. That's a go-to play this year, boys.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, right here.
Remember this?
Oh, man.
Nice
And
step.
Malik Willis threaded the needle.
Right there. Yeah, we're left corner there. Right, Tuck ran right at us.
Duval.
I remember that.
Hey, fam, look at this heater right here from Malik Willis. All right, anyway. Love it, boys. Just want to take a second and bask in the glory of Tucker Kraft's highlight reel. Obviously had a hell of a year, man. So much fun watching him play football. Can't wait for it next year. Anything else you guys want to add to the Tucker Kraft talk there before we move? Well, first of all, I think actually we've got this we could share. Someone, I think what it was I had reposted my old tweet. It popped up during that feed right there when we were watching that. Circled all these cats on the ground, and Devondre Campbell like, nope, ain't happening. So there you go. Must see TV. That's right. Forklift certified. All right. This is a very, very interesting tweet. Emilio, Tim, we got to come up with something for the board, okay? It's that time of the year. I know it's Lion season, but more info is better than less. Draft guy Jarrett got a hell of a mustache, let me tell you. Nice part, too.
That is pretty neat.
Give him a follow at Draft Guy Jarrett, all right? At Dane Brugler, adding some context to the, quote, character concerns of the 3 defensive linemen expected to be drafted in the first round. Paraphrase. First, James Pierce Jr., quote, what makes him tick is the knock there. Look at Tim. I came for Tim's reaction here tonight. I came to the show tonight to see Tim's reaction to these.
I'm assuming what makes him tick is playing football and cashing checks like everybody else, right?
Maybe that might have something to do with it. So James Pierce Jr., the knock on him is, quote, what makes him tick? Emilio, should we put something next to his name on the draft board? I think I'm voting.
Yeah, run the card up if he's there at 23 is what we need.
Put a little running man on there.
Put the little clock next to him.
Yeah.
What makes him tick?
All right, so we're not going to put anything there. Now, here we go. Mike Green, incident at UVA before transferring. So this is kind of like – that's a great question, Tim.
Yeah, what's the incident?
Would be nice to know, right? I'm going to Google search it here. Emilio, based off the lack of information we have there, should we put some kind of red mark on Mike Green there based off that information?
Currently, I'm going to have to say no. We have absolutely no information on that. But
You think God never farted?
it's exactly what I was thinking. So, I mean, you have a run in here and there. You never know. Let's see.
I mean, they call anything an incident nowadays. He could have got into a fender bender on campus or something. Could have had a little bumper scrape in the parking lot, and that could have been an incident.
Did you pull up that 24/7 Sports article?
I did not. Did you?
Yeah.
Go ahead, what you got, man? Read
So
it.
what they said on this was back in 22, I believe. Virginia head coach Tony Elliott was talking. He said about Mike Green, he's just no longer with the team. That's all I'm going to leave that with, said Elliott, who declined to elaborate further on the reasoning. Mike Green, he's a guy who's aggressive, loves to take care of the details, and frankly, he's fun to coach because he's got a lot of energy. John Rosinski had said during fall camp, Mike's made great strides and continues to get a little bit better every day. But it literally all he said is just he's no longer active with the team. That's all the head coach said.
Gotcha. This is what I'm seeing here, okay? It says, this is Brett Coleman on Twitter. Shout out to him. Don't know him, but shout out to him. There was an incident early in his college career that caused him to get dismissed from Virginia, and there still has not been a whole lot of clarity about what actually happened. I imagine the teams and league have done enough due diligence on it to send the invite, talking about for the combine. And then someone responds, said, any sort of indication what the incident was? And Brett Coleman says, I don't have enough information to confidently speak on it. So
Right, if you got to dig that deep, it's a nothing burger.
You would think so, right? Like if it's a potential DUI, he got out of a DUI, or he hit somebody, or it was abusive in a relationship, something like that, we would have information on, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like anything as crazy as half the crap we see from players that are already in the league. We'll just leave it at that.
I'm gonna use a term here, okay? And I don't want anyone to take offense to it. I just want to put into focus the person who tweeted this out. I want you to understand what kind of human being he may be, okay? So I'm going to read the tweet, and then I'm going to tell you the name of that Twitter account that said it. There are very loose and unsubstantiated rumors that it's related to a sex crime. Let me be 100% clear that right now they are nothing but weak rumors. Handful of people claiming they have sources without any primary sources or evidence emerging publicly.
BS alert. If it was a crime, there'd be court reports. There'd be, FOI requests, all of that. We'd have facts.
Tim, throw the flag on that play call, man. We're just not.
And there would at least be a police report, right?
Something.
So
yeah, I'm not buying it.
Are you guys
or at
ready
least not writing this guy off and saying we don't want to draft him based on this,
So are you guys ready for that Twitter handle? And again, no one take offense to this, okay? I just want to put into perspective who this was. His Twitter handle is retardism_2.
Don't put
So there
that
you go.
name in my mouth right there.
That's the person that claims someone else has an issue.
That's the problem with
Don't you
the
do it, Tim.
internet.
Don't you dare talk about my internet, Tim. There's
Just
nothing
saying,
wrong
man.
with my internet.
all you got to do is say something, and all of a sudden, guys' draft stock plummets for no reason.
This is what we're talking about. We talked about with James Pierce Jr. is like this time of the year, and this isn't my opinion. This isn't Clayton making this up and firing from the hip, right? This is simply Michael Lombardi, former GM. Daniel Jeremiah has talked about it on the Move the Sticks podcast over the years. I've listened to him for over 10 years now, it seems like. I want to say it was around 2012, 2013 I started listening to him. So this is what they say. Teams will put stories out there to drop the stock of a player so they can get them, or maybe force a team, or at least raise a question to a team that, hey, is he a risk if we take him? That way they can leapfrog teams and grab them. And I'm telling you right now, you think, well, teams are smarter than that, Clayton. They can't fall for it. We talk about cluster busters, do we not, boys? Cluster busters on the board. You got a horizontal board. You got several prospects there. Mike Green could be at the top of your board.
Yeah.
And right below them in the same tier, a couple other players, maybe even the edge defender. You go, man, the grade's close. He has a better grade, but it's within the same tier. Remember they had that issue we didn't have all the information on? Yeah, let's take it. Let's bypass him. That's the value in dropping those stories, right? So there you go. My vote is don't put anything next to his name either. What do you boys think?
Yeah, I agree.
What's wrong with you, Emilio? You got a problem in here tonight?
Greg Rice over here just with the zinger. Too old for this. That there would be at least a public allegations, aka Justin Tucker. I think
Right.
that's completely fair. You know,
Yeah.
if there really was something, you're going out and stating it for a fact.
Yeah, definitely. So again, Mike Green seems like rumors.
Pass on both the first
Still,
two.
still high on my board. I'll take them.
Yeah, if you want me to put a little button on them, I'm not doing it yet.
Yeah. Walter Nolan. This is great detail here from Draft Guy Jared. Different reports from A&M and Ole Miss.
What reports are we referring to, and how
Tim,
are they different?
You're asking too many questions, Tim. Okay.
I'm asking important
We
questions.
just
What are the
gotta trust
reports you're
Draft Guy
talking
Jared.
about?
We've got to trust Draft Guy Jared here. This is on the internet, Tim. It's got to be true. Emilio, you got anything on this A&M and Ole Miss report here?
From what AI told me, said Walter Nolan's a D lineman, Texas A&M, was involved in an NCAA recruiting violation and transferred to Ole Miss. So it looks like the violation was from former Tennessee coach Jeremy Pruitt. It resulted in the Vols' 5-year probation. Said that A&M's coaching change was a major reason for his departure. He also said that the family environment at Ole Miss he wanted to be cultivated was a big part of the decision transfer. And Nolan issued a PSA on social media to Texas A&M recruits, urging them to read their contracts thoroughly. So
I'm still drafting him if he's on
he
the
said
board.
it looks like one of the A&M coaches left to go to Syracuse, and he said that he didn't really like that coach left, and I guess that there was a recruiting violation between him and Tennessee, which is how he left A&M, didn't get it to Tennessee, and ended up at Ole Miss.
These are all nothing.
What does that have to do with him playing football?
Uh,
That's what I want to know.
yeah, that's
Like, how is that going to affect him playing football in the NFL?
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad we did this though, because this is all I've found so far. You know, in terms of like, hey, there might be some negative, you know. And listen,
I like
wanna
Shane
make this-
here. Nolan sounds like a coach or organization getting upset that he left. Exactly.
Exactly right. And I want to say this too. I want to be very clear about how I feel about this. If there was a sexual assault or something with Mike Green, I don't want him on my football team. I want to be very clear there.
There was
evidence. There's zero evidence. Like there's nothing. So I know this. We'll keep an eye on him as he goes throughout his career. And if something pops up, we might revisit and go, hey, man, you know what? There were those rumors. There were signs.
right.
You're real about it. But right now, man, there ain't. I'm just
So from the Clarion Ledger, website, Walter Nolan said, "What really led me to leaving Texas A&M was former Texas A&M defensive line coach Elijah Robertson leaving to go to Syracuse. It wasn't really a tough decision, more so a tougher decision finding where I wanted to go." Then he said, "Playing against Ole Miss the past 2 years, seeing the family orientation they have around here, how they support each other if things are going back on the field." Even if things are going bad on the field, looks like they mistyped. That really opened up my eyes and made me say, this is the team I want to be with. And he also said, I did think I was going to be here in high school for a little bit, he said, but as I got older, that faded a little bit.
There you go. Chuck Goodman in the chat. More nothing burgers. It really feels like it. To me, it sounds like Walter Nolan wants to be in a good culture place, right?
Yeah, after he was at Texas A&M, played against Ole Miss, realized that, hey, they have a little bit better culture there. I can tell that from the sideline, from on the field, talking with the guy you're going across kind of thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm with you, Clay, man. If there's something substantiated, that's a different story, right? If you can verify things, but we live in a day and age where people can just allege something or make a statement and all of a sudden your life is ruined. So I deal with evidence and facts. So if we see some of that, then it's a different story, honestly.
Could not agree more, Tim. Couldn't agree more. All right. Some other good news, in my opinion, and that is good news to me that we couldn't find anything on those guys because, just the fact that people try to drag their name and not have anything substantial. And that's not a shot to any of the guys who tweeted that stuff out, right? Like no one said he's guilty of this, or it was
right. Right.
It seemed like they were kind of pointing out the fact that, hey, there's nothing here, right?
Yep.
So John Eric Sullivan obviously been interviewing for the Jaguars general manager spot. You guys know he's kind of one of, if not the right-hand man to Brian Gutekunst in Green Bay. Well, the Jaguars are hiring James Gladstone as their general manager. So,
Duval.
John Eric Sullivan is returning to the Green Bay Packers, it sounds like, barring any surprises. So I think that's great news for the Packers. Obviously, the thing that Goody said his biggest strength was, and I really respect this in people, is he said John Eric Sullivan was one of those guys in his group, his organization, his department, if you will, that he's willing to tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. He's not going to shy away from disagreeing to make sure that we make the right decision type thing. I'm paraphrasing, but that's a hell of a quality to have in the front office. But Tim, it's good news, right, man?
For sure. You don't want yes men, Yes men are only going to get you so far. You need someone to call it like they see it and tell you the truth, even if it hurts your feelings a little bit. So I love it. I'm glad that, he's staying in Green Bay. Thank goodness, for sure.
Yeah. How about you, Emilio?
Yeah, super happy that he's back. Honestly, I was just kind of shocked. That dude looks young.
Yeah.
Greg.
Like Rice.
Greg Rice says, I don't trust someone who wears a sweater and a jacket. And that's pretty fair.
Greg S. says that's why we have AFAM.
Looks
There
like
you go. That's a very good point.
was saying here on Jaguars.com, Gladstone, the Rams director of scouting strategy the past 3 seasons, spent 9 seasons with the franchise. He was Rams director of scouting in 21, director of scouting strategy 19 and 20, and Rams senior assistant in 18. I guess I'll give him a shot, man. I don't know. He's been with the Rams. He's kind of going with – it's kind of funny how that works out, right? He ended up – they pulled him from the Rams, who was with Sean McVay, who Matt LaFleur's coached with. So you got the same maybe kind of coaching tree idea, and then the same different kind of playbook, same idea. And it's just wild how it all kind of worked out. You're going to pick from the Packers and the Jags to see where you want to take this team.
No, makes sense. Yeah. All right. Again, great news. John Eric Sullivan, as we know it right now, is returning to the Green Bay Packers. We'll let y'all know if something else changes there. Let's get into some draft talk real quick. That sound good, boys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. So our boy Easton Butler, make sure you go give him a follow at Easton__Butler over on X. The Packers met with Minnesota Duluth offensive lineman Aiden Williams at the Shrine Bowl. Now, I've went through and updated these, Emilio. You had a couple of them already updated, and I actually put a couple grades in for these guys too. So why don't we just kind of see where they're at real quick? I'll search them and let you guys know. So Aiden. Yeah, Aiden Williams, right?
Who?
What's that, Emilio?
I said I got him at 366, right?
Yep, 366. Now, we don't have anything on him other than the consensus big board, it looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's 279 is where he was at. Is that right? So that puts him in the 366 spot for our board. Now, again, when you see the grade itself, it's not completely accurate from what I'm about to say, but you can just about look at that grade and go, that's kind of where they're worthy of being picked. That makes sense. So, like, if you see someone with a 23 grade, but he's our 32nd, best prospect, and I don't even know if those numbers would work out that way. I'm just using that as an example. The grade would suggest he might be worth, somewhere around the 23rd pick. But again, with some of the other bonuses we throw in, that changes a little bit as well. It doesn't have quite the same dynamic in comparing across the board with players who have bonuses and people that don't have bonuses in terms of like Senior Bowl, Greg Cosell bonus, things like that. But so looking at him, even though it says 366, he's 279 on the consensus big board. So
thick.
All right. Next player, Emilio, you ready for this one?
Ready.
We have linebacker from Georgia, another Georgia linebacker is Small. Is that how you would say it? Small? Smell?
Smell?
Well, ooh, that smell. Munden, right? Munden Jr. Tim got it. Emilio's too young, I believe. Where do we got him?
No, I'm with you.
Munden Jr. there, Emilio. Where we got him at, man?
I don't have him.
Oh, we ain't got him on yet? Oh, no.
Well, I was just scrolling to the bottom. We are 499 on the board, so he's going to be the 50th edition.
There you go. I've got him right here. Here
or
we go.
500. Where is he?
He is at 233 on the board. I may have misspelled his name. No, we got his name right.
No, I spelled it wrong. That's on me.
All right, cool. So obviously the Packers have shown interest in him. We've got him in the 233 spot. He's got a grade of let's see here. Is that the final grade we have here? I want to make sure it is. The grade on him is a 164.3. So this is the perfect example. He's in the 233 spot, but his grade is 164.3. That would mean, might be worthy of the 164th pick. PFF 22 grade, he was the 439th graded linebacker. In 23, he dropped all the way to 577. In 24, he climbed all the way up to 208. PFF Big Board had him at 169. Consensus Big Board had him at 116. All right. So, again, 164.3 coming at the 233 spot. So, Goody and them, man, they've been meeting with some prospects. It's going to be a little bit lower on the board, man. Who knows? We might hit one of these late-round gems here, Tim. But Georgia – Goody's like, I don't care if he's one of the worst players on the team. We love those Georgia Bulldogs. Don't we?
Well, just rest assured, guys, we're not going to take them in the first round like we did last time with Georgia linebacker. Nobody get all upset or anything. We just had a meeting, right? Never know how the board is going to fall, but I think it's interesting to see that. And again, Easton Butler all over this stuff, man. Great follow. Like if you want the up to the minute stats on what's going on with the Packers and who they're meeting with, that's who to follow for sure.
Yeah. Anything you want to add to them there, Amelia? You got anything extra on them?
No, I like that we could, maybe go back and dip into the pot. But maybe more of a speedy guy. I'm excited to see. Got to watch a little tape.
Yep. So again, the big thing there for me with linebacker, and I know there's some people that think we don't need a linebacker. We got, however many on the roster. Like you got Edgerrin Cooper, you got Quay Walker, right? Let's say that nobody re-signs. So you'd have Tyron Hopper. Who else would you have at linebacker? Michael Barrett, I guess on the futures. I think he's still with the team. Is there anyone else you could think of at linebacker? So that's 4 linebackers, one of which could not make the NFL roster, right? And Michael Barrett. Guys, you need to have 5 linebackers in a 4-3 defense to make the roster out. Can you get by with 4? Sure. But if you have 2 injuries, now you're having to put a safety in that base defense to play linebacker. And if you're up that week against a run heavy offense, and all of a sudden you're down to 2 backers, you're screwed. So you need to have 5, in my opinion. That's why I'm thinking we'll go after 2 this year, personally. That way you don't have to, if Michael Barrett is on the futures, and he may not even be on the futures now. He may not even be with the team anymore. I haven't checked. But I'm treating it like we've got 3 linebackers on the roster, and we need 2 more. So I think that's why Goody's kind of combing through some of these late round linebackers here in the draft for sure. So,
you also got
the other thing too is
drafted UDFAs. You can always snag a linebacker UDFA.
Definitely. The other thing too is like we don't know for sure if Quay's going to get extended. If I had to put money on it, I would say that he's going to get extended or he's going to get the 5th-year option. I think they like him a lot. You guys know I would disagree with that move, but I'm just saying I think the Packers probably will make that move. If that happens, if that doesn't happen, guess what? These linebackers that you draft this year, whether you draft 2 or draft 1 and take 1 UDFA or try to find one in free agency, that could potentially be one of your starters moving forward. If you hit, if the right guy falls to the 3rd round or even the 2nd round, and you look up and go, damn, this is our Edgerrin Cooper this year, right? They may pull the trigger on that, thinking long term for the future. So
don't rule out an Eric Wilson resigning.
Exactly.
There's that possibility too.
Yeah, and I kind of that's the way I leaned was like re-sign Eric Wilson for special teams value. You reestablish that floor in the linebacker room. You let him and Tyron Hopper battle it out, and then if you have the right opportunity present itself in the draft, you draft a guy that's better than them. You just raise the entire linebacker room up just a touch, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Tim, we got us a receiver. We got us a receiver on the radar here, and if my calculations were correct, he's 6'2". So probably gonna get excited about this one.
So he qualifies. All right, let's go.
Yeah. Easton Butler tweeted out Jeremiah Hunter. All right, the Packers.
Who?
One of 9 teams to meet with Washington Husky wide receiver Jeremiah Hunter at the Tropical Bowl. All right. Says the other 8 teams were the Titans. They sat down with them. The Patriots, Raiders, 49ers, Texans, Steelers, Ravens. Yeah, I said Ravens. And Seahawks. That was a virtual meeting there. So that was per at Justin M_NFL. Do you know where he's at there, Emilio?
292, where we have
Oh,
him.
wow. Top 300. Let's go.
Yep. His PFF in 22 was 86th overall. PFF 23, 140. PFF 24, 377. So steadily getting, lower down on that scale. We don't have him on either big board, though, with an overall score brings him to 201.
Got it. All right. So 201. Obviously, you're looking at the last couple of rounds, right, in the draft. So
Right.
good stuff, man. Appreciate you looking that up for us there. All right. Next on the docket, we got another. This is a DB here. All right. Easton Butler tweeted out the Packers met with Shorter University DB Johnny Davis at the Podium. I think I'm saying that right. Podium All-Star Bowl. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The D2 prospect talked to scouts from the Packers and the Commanders and was sent contact info from the Colts. Can you find him on the board here?
He's on the board. He is our first person with absolutely no score at all. That lands him 477th.
Got it. So I looked up, I believe I looked up on PFF. I could not find any grade on him on PFF. I couldn't find anything, obviously, on any of the boards. So we'll
Probably also
him.
that D2 doesn't help either.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know where else you could go to get that.
Yeah, and we'll see, man. Maybe he got invited to the combine. Of course, he's not showing up on the consensus big board, which, by the way, if we get a chance here in a minute, we're going to hit the Patreon group. But the consensus big board have all the combine logos next to the players that are going to be participating in the combine. And really the way you want to attack that is start at the top, work your way down and figure out, okay, who's not going to the combine, and then do a quick Google search and go, okay, why did they not go to the combine? Okay, they're still battling injury. Look to put the red mark on. You know what I mean? We'll update the board in that regard as well. So, again, keep an eye out for Johnny Davis, defensive back. He's a D2 prospect meeting with the Packers. So we're all caught up there now. Matter of fact, that's going to do it for hour 1. For those of you listening on the pod, we will see you on the other side for hour 2. We appreciate y'all.